A very warm welcome to Newsfeed on this 28th day of August 2022, a day that has seen various leaders in the country, including the President-elect William Ruto, as well as the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance leader, that is Raila Odinga, attending church services and giving hope to their supporters. Of course, some of the many stories that we've lined up for you on Newsfeed this afternoon. Now, with that said, my name is Dennis Otieno. I trust you're doing well. Welcome to the broadcast. Remember, you can always interact with us on our social media platforms indicated at the bottom of your screen, at Facebook, as well as Twitter and Instagram. Keep your feedback coming through on Newsfeed this afternoon. But on to the top story this afternoon. And the President-elect William Ruto, accompanied by his Deputy President-elect Rigathi Gachagua, ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi, Senator Moses Wetangula, and other leaders are currently at Christ the King Cathedral Catholic Church in Bungoma for today's service to offer their thanksgiving after the August 9th general election. Now, I'm being informed our reporter on ground is currently following up on the story, and we will be giving you the details of the story a little bit later. But shifting focus from Bungoma, we cross over right back to here in Nairobi, where Raila Odinga and a section of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leaders are pitching tent today in Kibra constituency, ahead of the Supreme Court ruling on the disputed presidential results. Raila and the team are currently attending a church service at the AIC Kibera and are later expected to hold a rally at the Camp Kunji grounds at the heart of Kibera. Let's cross over and listen in.
Sisi ni monos. So, waja tuite the MPs who are here. Na because alinibuli, lazima atakuja hapa atambue hao wengine. Anasema sio monos. We will recognize intellectual kuja hapa. Huyo ndiye alikuwa ananibuli. Sasa we will recognize them pamoja. Wale walikuwa nayo ana recognize, wale tuko nayo tuna recognize. Tuko na mwenyewe Embakasi West, na ni mtoto wa huyo mwenye mmoja. Karibu sana huyo.
Okay, huyo zangu ni Mwathi, mbunge wa Limuru, anaondoka wakati huu.
And those are the live proceedings at a church in Kibra constituency, that is Kibera. Of course, the person that is speaking right now is Opiyo Wandayi, as they await, or rather making the speeches before the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance flag bearer Raila Odinga is set to grace the stage and make his speech a little bit later. Now, we move back to the story that I had posed to you a little bit earlier, where the President-elect William Ruto, accompanied by his Deputy President-elect Rigathi Gachagua, ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi, Senator Moses Wetangula, and other leaders are currently at Christ the King Cathedral Church in Bungoma for today's service to offer their thanksgiving after the August 9th general election. Now let's cross over and listen in.
Everybody, irrespective of who they are, where they come from, which religion they profess, or which political party they belong to. And I am very sure that in a very short while, we can embark on the business of building our nation. And we can embark on the business of delivering on the commitments that we have made to the people of Kenya. I am looking forward, Governor Lusaka, my friend, I am looking forward to working with you on the issues that concern Bungoma County. We have made commitments on matters to do with Nzoia. We have made commitments on matters to do with agriculture. I am looking forward to sharing with you what is the plan we have on reducing the cost of farm inputs. I know you are a strong believer in that. Bungoma is part of the granary of our nation, and therefore
This is the President-elect William Ruto addressing the congregation at a church in Bungoma County. Of course, our reporter Wanji Sostin is following up on the story. He will be updating us further as the story develops, and will be bringing us up to speed in our subsequent bulletins. But moving on, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission in Kakamega County has confirmed that they are ready for tomorrow's election. Now, speaking at Kakamega Hill School, Lurambi Returning Officer Abdallah Salim said they have received all the required materials for the exercise. Salim has urged residents to turn up in large numbers to participate in tomorrow's gubernatorial election, saying polling stations will be opened by 6 a.m.
I hope the agents, at least we have a few agents around. Any agent? My name is Abdallah Salim, Returning Officer Lurambi Constituency. As you all know very well, we are Odinga Baraza akisaidiana pale na Ayub Savula. UDP tuko na Shakalaga kwa Girongo. Assisted by Josephat Milimu.
Which will take place tomorrow. So far, you can see behind me, we have all the teams, we are ready. We are just waiting for our poll officials who will be arriving here around 2 o'clock to pick their ballot papers and both non-strategic and strategic materials to the polling stations. So far, we are ready and we are on top of everything. This time around, I have 176 polling stations, and since we have only one seat, I think it is going to be a little bit smooth, unlike the last time when we had around 6 positions. Handling one position is not all that difficult, it's very easy. We have briefed our poll officials and they are ready to go. Yes, last time I had 178 polling stations, that is 2 polling stations in the GK prison, one for female and one for male. As you know very well, the prisoners are only allowed to vote for presidential elections and not any other election. That is why this time we have cut them off. The polling officials will come today around 2 o'clock, check the materials, both strategic and non-strategic, then they leave there for their polling stations where they are going to spend in the various polling stations, 176. Then tomorrow at 6 o'clock, I'm expecting all of them to officially open the polling station and start conducting elections up to 5 o'clock in the evening. We shall close by 5 o'clock, then after that one, we are going to start counting there and then. So I believe by around 9 o'clock, I'll be done with the exercise because it's only one position. And I don't have very many people as opposed to maybe other constituencies.
Remember, after a few mix-ups in various counties during the August 9th general election, some of the counties, including Mombasa and Kakamega, had their gubernatorial elections getting pushed forward to 29th of August, that is tomorrow. Now, all the best to all the candidates vying for the specific seats in the gubernatorial race in those specific counties. Now, moving on. As schools struggle with shortened school calendars ahead of completing the school syllabus, experts have now come up with solutions to curb the demanding nature of the new CBC education system for parents. Experts have come up with Gravity CBC One-Stop Shop Center in the Eastern Bypass to help in the implementation of the new curriculum. Now, according to the center manager, Michael Njuguna, who is also a CBC trainer and teacher, the center came in to aid teachers, learners and parents to have an easy time navigating through the CBC projects. Teachers and learners further expressed their joy in meeting the practical part of learning, especially on agriculture and creative arts through Gravity CBC for their students, urging the startup of such projects across the country.
Right now, I understand there is a dire need for the school to meet deadlines pertaining the projects. So, as a graphic project center, we have equipped our station with all the necessary requirements, materials, procedures, facilities that are needed to do this project, be it in art and craft, be it in science and technology, be it in agriculture. So any school that is willing to do these projects and does not have the resources and time, this is the place for you to bring your runners for you to do these projects. So we are equally equipped to handle the projects in terms of science and technology, in terms of agriculture, and in terms of art and craft.
Polycarpateto, a science teacher at Marion Preparatory School. We came here with grade 6 learners who are doing their CBC projects. One of the projects was to model the the art. Another one was to rearing the rabbits. And we chose to become here because of the reason that we wanted the learners to get experience on the things that they are learning in class. Can they do them practically when they have been given opportunity to do them?
I loved the amusement, I loved the music they played, and also learning is here. And we learned a lot about science and agriculture.
Kwa hivyo ikiwa inawezekana kwa kila county kuwe na institution kama hii, itasaidia sana katika masomo ya CBC.
Days after the swearing in of governors, Turkana Governor Jeremiah Lomurkai has met leaders from South Sudan, Ethiopia and Uganda to discuss cross-border security issues and trade. Speaking in Lodwar after meeting delegates from Ethiopia, South Sudan and Uganda, Governor Lomurkai urged governments sharing the border to commit to investing in social infrastructure along the border ranging from water, roads, health and education that will be shared by the neighboring communities, as well as facilitate cross-border trade and end conflict over limited resources.
Commit a lot of time and resources into peace-building issues, because the entire of our corridor with the 3 countries is a volatile corridor. It's a corridor that needs a lot of commitment from the leadership. The leadership that would want really to see a people that live in harmony, that live in peace with their neighbors.
There's a lot of transhumance that takes place across the border. The Turkana during the dry season move to Uganda, and we host them for all the dry season. But during the course of being there are conflicts. Our people do cattle rustling. The Turkana also in revenge do the same. And we think that being one people, the people of Ateker, we would like to make sure that we attain sustainable peace. That will go along with development.
Meanwhile, the Somali community living in Mombasa has endorsed Mombasa ODM gubernatorial candidate Abdul Swamad Nasir for the county seat. The community, led by their Coast Region Chairman Mohamed Guri Ibrahim, reiterated the support to Nasir. Guri also disputed a section of elders from the community who led a delegation to endorse Hassan Omar of UDA, saying that they did it for their own selfish gain and that they did not represent the position of the community in Mombasa County. Vita Member of Parliament candidate in the just concluded general election, Mohamed Samatar, also led a delegation of KANU party members to endorse Nasir.
Na tunasema kwa roho moja kama community ya Somali community, sisi ni Abdulsamad Sharif Nasir. Tumekaa na yeye kutoka mwanzo na tumemwendorse.
Sisi tulikuwa tumeshachukua kauli yetu na tulisema ya kuwa we have endorsed our governor as Abdulsamad Sharif Nasir. So I don't see why somebody else comes out na kusema ya kuwa yeye wao wenyewe wanachagua Sarai, lakini sisi tuliweka kauli yetu.
The community is not divided. The community iko na stand moja. We have one voice and we've decided all of us unanimously as leaders that the vote of the community goes to none other than Abdulsamad Sharif Nasir. There are some political brokers ambao wamejitokeza. Na ukiona kwamba watu wameitana usiku kufanya hafla, ni kama watu wa kujificha wale watu. Sisi tulifanya hafla yetu mchana waziwazi, jamii nzima ikijua.
Now, at the same time, Mombasa woman representative-elect Zamzam Mohamed has called for peace ahead of Monday's gubernatorial election. This is after the polls showed ODM candidate Abdul Swamad Nasir and former Mombasa Senator Hassan Omar as the front runners, a situation that has raised heightened political temperatures in the county. The women rep-elect alleged that they have received reports that their opponents have ferried youth from Nairobi slums to come and cause chaos in the Monday election. She has additionally called on security officers to conduct a crackdown on hotels to flush out the alleged youth for a peaceful election.
Mombasa, tarehe 9 mlitoka kwa uchache sana. Kura ziko karibu 1600 hapa ndani ya Mombasa County. Na wasii kama mama yenu Mama County, naomba mjitokeze kwa wingi. Mjitokeze kwa wingi tarehe 29 tuje tufanye uchaguzi tena wa amani. Tunasikia kuna watu wamehamishwa kutoka Nairobi na mabasi, vijana wameletwa hapa kuleta fujo. Ningependa pia kusisitiza kwa vyombo vya usalama, chunguzeni mpaka haya mahoteli. Vijana wameletwa kutoka Jericho, tunasikia wakuja walete hapa fujo, waze walete zahma ndani ya polling station. Tunaomba vyombo vya usalama muwe salama, mulinde watu wa Mombasa kama vile kura zilizopita zilikuwa za amani.
Elsewhere, police officers from Ugenya on Sunday evening saved Ugenya legislator David Ochieng's home from suspected arsonists who wanted to set it ablaze in a protest over his decision to ditch the Azimio party for Kenya Kwanza. The residents vented their anger at the Ugenya Constituency Development Fund offices in Sega Town, vandalizing the facility. Now, according to the residents, a contingent of police officers from Kanyumba Police Post in East Ugenya rushed to the MP's home a few meters from Komoro Primary School as a group of angry youth marched to the home carrying crude weapons aimed at torching the MP's house.
Majina naitwa Nyango. Mimi mzaliwa hapa Ugenya. Kitu yenye David amefanya makosa kubwa kutupeleka kwa Ruto. Anatuuza kwa Ruto kwa nini? Hiyo tumekataa na tumekataa. Tumekataa kabisa, tutaki.
Kenye David Ochieng amefanya tumekasirika sana. Hatukujua eti anaweza enda yeye mwenyewe akienda huko Kenya Kwanza, hiyo ajua ameenda yeye mwenyewe. Sisi kama watu wa Ugenya tumebakia hapa na tuko na baba Raila Amolo Odinga. Hiyo tu.
Mimi ni mkaji wa Sega na tuna huzuni sana na David Ochieng. Kwa imani ya Mungu tunataka watu organize tupate vile tunaenda kwa by election Sega. Hatukujua yeye ni mole kama hivyo tena. Tumeudhika na tumekasirika sana.
Nimekataa maneno ya David kuenda kwa UDA. Hatutaki na arudi atuambie ako huko. Na tuone Kenya tutafanya. Arudi ndio aende, arudi. Kwanza ndio atuambie ako wapi. Hatutaki maneno yake, hatutaki kabisa.
Just one important thing for Kenyans to remember: no matter any political outcome, peace should always prevail. Part of the reason as to why Raila Odinga and a section of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leaders are pitching tent today in Kibra constituency ahead of the Supreme Court ruling on the disputed presidential results. Now, Raila and the team are currently attending a church service at the AIC Kibera and are later expected to hold a rally at the Camp Kunji grounds at the heart of Kibera. Now, let's cross over and listen in.
Then there will be justice. Then there will be peace. Then finally there will be reconciliation. We want Kenya to be reconciled so that we can move together as one united nation. So now we don't want to talk about issues which are before the court, because they say that is being subjudice. But we want to say that the other side should also desist from doing the same thing. And hii mambo tulisema hapo mbele, shida ya Kenya ni mambo ya ufisadi. Ufisadi. Kama mwenyekiti wa tume ya uchaguzi anaweza kusema ati alikuwa anataka kuhongwa. Nani alikuwa anataka kuhonga yeye? Na ni pesa ngapi? Na mbona haya kusema ati alikuwa anataka kuhongwa? Alisema yeye anataka si kupigwa. Sasa anasema ati anataka kunihonga mimi. Pesa ngapi? Wewe mwenyewe umeshindwa kufanya kazi yako, unajitoka pale, unaanza kujigamba ati wewe ulijua. Nani alijua? Sasa Wakenya wanaweza kujiuliza, watatu wale ni wanasema ukweli au wanne wale wanasema ukweli? Ukweli iko wapi? Where is the truth between the two groups of commissioners. Somewhere they said the truth. What I'm asking for as Raila Amolo Odinga is to be told the truth. And this is not just because of the elections of 2022. It's for posterity. We don't want to go into an election and see the kind of charade that we're seeing today. Mr. Chebukati, the chest thumping the other side with his two other commissioners, and then the other four commissioners this other side. It's a shame. Shame to democracy. Shame to the world. These are things that we don't want to see. There's what is it called?
And that is the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance flag bearer Raila Odinga, who is addressing congregants at the AIC Church in Kibra constituency. Of course, preaching peace and giving hope to his supporters that ahead of the Supreme Court ruling, they will definitely emerge victorious in that court proceeding, which is yet to have the ruling be put out there. But I'm being informed it is our reporter Mwege William who is following up on the story. He will be updating us further on the story as it develops in our subsequent bulletins. But moving on, the National Council of Churches, NCCK, in collaboration with the Special Olympic Kenya, has sensitized Mombasa youth on the need to embrace peace and tolerance under the Disability Inclusive Peace Summit in the county, especially as the county heads to the gubernatorial election on Monday. Now, addressing the press in Ferere Town in Nyali constituency during the sensitization event, Special Olympics Intellectual Disabilities Section Sports Manager Vincent Mungai says there is a need for youth to be peace ambassadors before, during and after the election. Similarly, Mombasa County NCCK Chairman Dr. Peter John Katana has urged the youth to be keen not to be used by politicians to cause chaos during the election.
Kwa amani, kura zitahesabiwa vizuri. Na after that on, sisi tunasema afadhali yule jirani mwenye karibu na wewe kushinda ndugu yako, dada yako ama kakako mwenye ako mbali. Huyo jirani yako ndiye anaweza kusaidia. So kwa hivyo irrespective ile pande mtu mwenye yako, amani kwetu ni ya maana sana.
Injili yetu imezaa matunda. Na sasa tukiungana pamoja na wapendwa hawa, bado tunawaendelezea kusema ya kwamba vijana waendelee kudumisha amani. Maana Jumatatu tunatarajia katika kaunti yetu ya Mombasa kuwa na uchaguzi wa gavana. Kwa hivyo tunawaambia waendelee kudumisha amani, na hao wenyewe hata tulipokuwa hapo ndani wakasisitiza ya kwamba hao wataendelea kudumisha amani.
Mambo si mazuri na tunaona ya kwamba wale watu wa muhimu sana kutayarishwa wakati huu ni vijana na kina mama, kwa sababu hali inayokuja si nzuri. Na vile ambavyo pia tunaingia katika uchaguzi wa kumchagua gavana katika kaunti ya Mombasa, hamasisho linahitajika sana, kwa sababu katika mirengo miwili yote watu wana